It's Heritage Month, and you know our history is rich and plenty. So you have to stay tuned to Jamaica Magazine throughout October for our interesting features. We start things off with a look back at the country's journey through the telecommunications age, plus building on the growth in agriculture. Hello, I'm Oroya Eubanks. Welcome.
Householders, business people, school administrators, protect yourself and your children from the chikungunya virus. Be on the alert. Help control the mosquito population. Chikungunya is a virus transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which breeds in and around your home, workplace, and school. Destroy breeding sites. Empty old tires and all other containers where water can settle. Bore holes in old cans. Cover water drums and garbage cans. Wash flower pots and vases and clean pet dishes regularly. Protect yourself from mosquito bites. Cover your body as much as possible and use mosquito repellent containing DEET. And if you're experiencing symptoms of chikungunya, a sudden high fever, headache, rash, nausea, pain, stiffness, or severe joint pains, see your doctor or go to the nearest health center.
Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your JIS News for Thursday, October 2. The Ministry of Health has heightened surveillance at all ports of entry to screen and assess passengers traveling from countries affected by the Ebola virus. This follows a special meeting with Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller at Jamaica House on Wednesday to review the threat of the Ebola virus and the government's response to the chikungunya virus. A release from the Office of the Prime Minister said the Health Ministry was to distribute health warning messages at all ports of entry. In addition, a special treatment center has been established and all hospitals have identified isolation rooms. Senior health workers who have received a first round of training on how to deal with the Ebola virus will continue to train other health workers. Reports surfaced this week that the United States has confirmed a case of Ebola in the state of Texas. In the meantime, coming out of Monday's meeting, additional funds have been earmarked to speed up cleanup efforts across the island to help contain the chikungunya outbreak. The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries has launched a strategic action plan to get Jamaica producing its annual national demand of 15 million kilograms of table Irish potato. Simone Reid-Hilton has the details on the National Irish Potato Program.
Jamaica already produces 90% of its table Irish potato needs and reduced importation of the crop by 75% between 2008 and the end of 2013. But the Agriculture Ministry is determined to reach 100% local supply. So during the 2014-2015 crop year, another 1,200 hectares of the crop will be put under production. The ministry is also expanding its seed production program, providing crop care support to farmers and facilitating training through the establishment of 4 farmer field schools. A best practice exchange program will use farm tours to maintain quality, and the ministry will strengthen marketing contracts between farmers and buyers. Acting Agriculture Minister Derek Kellier says credit unions and other financial institutions will be brought in to provide financing.
What this means is that the farmers will have access to credit from these institutions and will not be required to provide collateral.
He says with 4 demonstration plots to come on stream, the sector will continue to experiment with new varieties of Irish potato suitable for agro-processing.
Once we have identified promising varieties through these experiments, we will take the same approach to ramping up value-added potato products.
An additional 3.5 million gallons of water is expected from an aquifer recharge facility at Innswood St. Catherine and is expected to alleviate water shortages and restrictions during dry seasons. Chief Executive Officer at SCJ Holdings Limited, John Gale, says the project is being carried out by the National Water Commission on 27.8 hectares of land it leased to the NWC.
What they'll do now is to divert, when you have rainy season, where the water goes to sea from Rakobre, they will take that water into a series of ponds, clean it up in terms of sediment, and send that into the aquifer underground, which will therefore ensure that the wells have more volume and is more sustainable.
Surplus irrigation water drawn from the Innswood branch of the Rio Cobra irrigation system will also be treated and returned to the aquifer. The groundwater recharge project is being implemented over 15 months. Government is offering lucrative investment opportunities through SCJ Holdings Limited to persons who want to diversify their income stream. The entity, which manages and administers 47,000 hectares of government lands, is facilitating investments primarily by providing lands through sale, lease and joint venture arrangements to persons in the productive sectors. While addressing a recent JIS think tank, CEO John Gale said the entity had a number of projects targeting products which are in high global demand, such as aloe vera pulp, castor oil, and West Indian Sea Island cotton, for which 100 hectares of land is being put under production.
We're now working with UWI and also SRC in terms of how we can go the downstream processing, not only sell cotton fiber to the Swiss or the Japanese, but also process the cotton seed into oil and meal. At this point, we have identified the land for the first phase of production. We have developed the well because we want to go drip irrigation.
Jamaica Promotions Corporation JAMPO has facilitated close to $200 million in entertainment projects and $43 million in film ventures since April of this year. President of JAMPO, Diane Edwards, says capital expenditure for the period was more than $165 million, with 717 temporary jobs created. Ms. Edwards says JAMPO's focus going forward is to compile more data on the industry and those it employs.
A lot of our practitioners in the creative industries don't want to engage with the formal structures, and I think that this is a really important part of what we have to do, is to encourage people to come into the limelight, because there are advantages of formalizing yourself in the creative field. One of the areas, for instance, is the secured interest in private property, which legislation was passed late last year, and which offers creative practitioners the opportunity to leverage their movable assets.
In the meantime, Ms. Edwards says the agency is working with the Ministries of Finance and Planning and Tourism and Entertainment to refine an incentive regime that offers greater opportunity to cultural and creative practitioners. And finally, a major beautification project involving 4 government agencies is to get underway in Lucy, Hanover. While touring Lucy on Tuesday, Tourism Minister Dr. Wickham McNeil said the Tourism Enhancement Fund would be underwriting the project. It involves resurfacing of roadways, construction and repairing of drains and sidewalks, landscaping and general beautification of the town.
When you consider that possibly in excess of 200,000 visitors pass through here, as well as the people who live in the town, it really was unacceptable. So I spoke to the Member of Parliament, spoke to the Mayor, and we determined that we were going to come and take a look at it, because it cannot remain in the way it is.
The project is expected to be completed before the start of the winter tourist season on December 15. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.
The JIS will be having its first poster competition. And guess what? It's all about our heritage. The theme, We Are Free. All secondary level students are eligible to compete, and the posters can either be digitally designed or illustrated. The rules are simple. First, complete an entry form online from the JIS website. Posters will be judged on your interpretation of the topic, originality, neatness, and presentation. Digital posters should include only the images from a collection accessible on the JIS website. Posters should be no longer than 11 inches by 17 inches. All digital posters should be submitted electronically through a cloud storage service such as Dropbox, SkyDrive, or Google Drive, while illustrations must be taken into the head office or Montego Bay office. Posters should be submitted by Friday, October 31, 2014. Please ensure that you keep a copy of your poster after submission. Yes, there are going to be prizes and surprises for the top 3 students and the top participants. Just in case you need more details to be part of the fun, call JIS at 926-359024, extension 2137, or email heritageposter@jis.gov.jm. Don't delay, get started on your poster now.
Jamaica already produces 90% of its stable Irish potato needs and reduced importation of the crop by 75% between 2008 and the end of 2013. But the Agriculture Ministry is determined to reach 100% local supply. So during the 2014-2015 crop year, another 1,200 hectares of the crop will be put under production. And quality will be maintained through training and the sharing of best practice among farmers. Take a look at one of these exchange programs and the experience gained by the farmers.
Farmers getting to know each other, sharing ideas and best practice methods, building a network that will collectively produce to meet local demand and reduce imports. Irish potato accounts for a significant portion of Jamaica's food import bill, and the Ministry of Agriculture is adamant that this must be reduced. To support this, the Youth in Agriculture program funded by the Rural Agricultural Authority, or RADA, has engaged over 200 persons in Irish potato production. Under this program, which now has a women's component, 100 acres have been initially targeted for production.
We set out nationally to do about 1,250 hectares of Irish potato between the Gainesville area, which includes St. Catherine, St. Anne and St. Mary, and another 600 hectares in the Manchester area.
In the interim, targeted farmers have received training, seeds, chemicals, and assistance with land preparation.
That land preparation included plowing, rotivating, rowing, molding, trenching.
And to get the farmers learning from others in the field, an exchange program was organized by RADA between farmers of Guys Hill and the Christiana Belt. In March 2014, some of these young farmers from Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Clarendon and Trelawney journeyed to St. Mary and St. Anne to participate in a knowledge-sharing exercise. This had them touring other farms to observe operations and best practices from senior farmers in the business.
We chose some of the best farmers like Mr. Sital to take other farmers to learn best practices. The farm will get farmers together, so they will be no longer strangers. They'll exchange telephone numbers, they'll be able to talk to each other, replanting material, re-equipment, re-market, re-storage, and deepen the whole process of Irish potato culture in Jamaica to cut back on the import.
The farmers are expected to apply the information they have gathered on their farms for quality yield and increased production. We caught up with a few of them to hear of the experience and the lessons they learned.
Well, we spray potato.
We scatter the lizer without blinding it. Get into the program, learn us that we're supposed to blind the lizer before we drop the seed on the land. And a lot of different things, how to use chemicals and how to spray and how often we should spray.
I have also learned that after planting, it's best that when you plant the Irish potato, you cover the drills and then you put your lizer on top so it would just soak down on the Irish potato plant itself. And then after it grows maybe about 6 inches or so, I would have to re-fertilize again, and then I get it mold and continue spraying.
I've seen, for example, closer planting distance, the farmers in this area, they are using up to 50-pound bags of small seeds per acre, while in Manchester, up to recently, the farmers were using just 12 bags per acre, which give them a smaller plant count per acre, and that will result at the end of the day with a lower production. So I think the whole exchange trips will play a dividend in the short to medium term.
Last year I only did, I could only afford to do 5 50-pound bags. And this year, through the program, I could be able to plant an acre. So it has allowed me to expand production.
I am hoping also that we could not only use this approach as part of our teaching approach for farmers that are doing Irish potato, but we could do it for other crops.
The Youth in Agriculture program is a grant-funded program costing some $7 million with part sponsorship from local companies. Since 2001, more than 102,000 young persons have been trained and prepared to become leading farmers of tomorrow and key planners in the agriculture sector.
And this is one of RADA's efforts to get new people in as a replacement stock for aging farmers and for an employment push for young people who can't find jobs.
And the women are right beside them.
I want to be one of Jamaica's biggest women farmer. So I got myself involved in this program, and I hope as I grow and as I continue to move along with the team, I hope to become better and even better.
And with the technology transfer from the Irish Potato Farmers Exchange Program, these farmers will be even more committed to take on the challenge and join the many others who are increasing crop production to meet local demand.
We want a productive Jamaica. We are not productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, Pathway to Prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Are you ready for our history lesson? Answer this question. In what year were all major towns in the island connected through the All-Island Trunk telephone service? Consider your answer while we take you on the country's journey through the telecommunications age.
From live animal power to mechanized speed under the hood, narrow walkways and dirt tracks to multi-lane pavements and overhead carriageways.
The technology of transportation in Jamaica has come a long way.
Planes, trains, and automobiles on the Jamaican landscape have evolved over the decades and centuries. Go back in time, say the late 18th, entire 19th, and even the early 20th century, and you're likely to find these. A mode of transportation that involved harnessing the power of animals. The not-so-simple carriages of yesteryear are the precursors to the pavement-eating machines that now use motors designed to convert energy into useful mechanical motion. By the latter part of the 1800s, trams, horseless, metal, steam-powered carriages running on tracks were a feature of Jamaican roadways. They were preceded by the railroad, Jamaica being one of the first in the Americas. And by the mid-1900s had entirely moved aside to make room for the cars and buses that run independently on the paved streets that have been laid over former gravel and dirt tracks. After making landfall, the airways and sea lanes weren't far behind for motor technology. It's believed that the Jamaican skies saw its first plane in December 1911, when an American aviator, Jesse Seligman, took flight at the Knutsford Park Racecourse in what is now New Kingston. The national carrier Air Jamaica, now Caribbean Airlines, had its first departure flight to Miami on May 1, 1966. Commercial and domestic aviation is now a fully established mode of transportation for people and goods in Jamaica. The 1800s brought steamships, and steam vessels quickly made their way to Jamaican waterways, eventually making room for the motorized speedboats, heavy cargo ships, and cruise liners that we now find berthed at Jamaican docks. And after a long run, broken by about 2 decades of inactivity, passenger train service in Jamaica resumed in early 2011, at least on a trial basis.
The system of communication has had its own technological revolution, and Jamaica has steadily remained in the know. Did you know that Jamaica received telephone service just 2 years after the invention of the device?
In 1939, all major towns were connected through the all-island trunk telephone service. And April 1 was the day registered in history when the first connection was opened to the public, allowing persons to bypass the operator and dial direct. A few years earlier, 1936, brought the inauguration of a radio telephone service, allowing some people to speak directly with others in North America, England, Mexico, and Cuba. Then, the late 1900s and early 21st century witnessed an explosion of information technology in Jamaica. And going back, the earlier telephone technology had actually spawned its own offshoot in the telegram, a device somewhere between the paper mail and the type most common today.
Telephone and radio had been around for quite some time, allowing Jamaicans to pick up foreign radio stations. But it was not until July 9 of 1950 that commercial broadcasting actually started in Jamaica.
That 1950s development brought us the Jamaica Broadcasting Company, later known as Radio Jamaica Limited, RJR. A cable radio service preceded it. Now, this came with a receiver box that would allow you to pick up the signal, and then you could listen.
The occasion on which I address you is somewhat historic, because this is the first time that the head of the government of the island has been able to address the people of Jamaica through the medium of a Jamaican broadcasting station.
The birth of Jamaica's first television station, the Jamaica Broadcasting Corporation JBC in 1963, was certainly a big deal. Through the decades, the spectrum has blossomed and satellites, cable and TV phones have made Jamaica a fully audio-visual nation.
Schools, colleges, businesses need research material for the upcoming heritage celebrations? Look no further. The Jamaica Information Service has all the heritage items you need. Books, flags, posters, CDs and DVDs. Don't wait until the last minute. Get your material today. Special package deals are available from as low as $500 and giveaways with every purchase while stocks last. Visit the Jamaica Information Service at 58A Halfway Tree Road, Kingston, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays to Thursdays, and 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. on Fridays. Come in, call, or click to place your order. Email research@jis.gov.jm or call 926-3590-4.
Up next, a very important issue, breast cancer, and the importance of early screening.
For accurate and easy screening, there are a few things women should not do on the day they're scheduled for a mammogram.
They should try to wear a two-piece outfit to make it easier for the top to be removed when we're doing the mammogram, because the patient has to be naked from the neck down to the waist for us to get the breast properly. We ask them also not to put any powder or lotions on the breast, nor to use any deodorant that has a white residue, because it will simulate calcifications in the breast. No jewelry that is going to be hanging in the body part.
The results of your mammogram can be given to you either by the radiologist at the completion of the mammogram or the doctor who ordered the screening. They will tell you whether the mammogram is normal or not. If there is what's called a spot on your mammogram, that's considered abnormal. But don't panic.
An abnormal mammogram report does not necessarily mean that the patient has breast cancer. The mammogram is simply an X-ray of the breast. If there is any mass in the breast that is there at the time that the mammogram is done, or any lesion in the breast, then the mammogram will show it. Now, this can be something benign like a fibroadenoma. It can be something malignant like cancer.
Although mammograms are recommended and effective, women shy away from doing one because the procedure is sometimes uncomfortable. Dr. Cornwell says the benefits far outweigh the discomfort.
I could tell you that the pain from a mammogram is much less than the pain from breast cancer when it is detected, especially if it is detected late. So we will encourage all women to do mammogram. Mammogram is the only imaging modality that can pick up cancer at the earliest possible stage.
For further information on breast cancer and mammograms, contact the nearest health center or the Jamaica Cancer Society, 16 Lady Musgrave Road, Kingston 5. Telephone 927-4265 or 927-3317.
Look inside the drum. Those are the Aedes aegypti larvae, the one that causes dengue fever. If all of these larvae mature to be adults, and if the female larva bites someone with the dengue fever, it will acquire the dengue virus. And if that mosquito bites you, you will get it.
Dengue fever?
Yes. Help prevent the spread of dengue.
Clean up your home and community.
Destroy mosquito breeding sites. Protect yourself from mosquito bites. Prevent dengue fever.
I'm Mario Mackenzie, Robin, captain of the Calabar High Track team. And me have a message for anybody who are planning to take the tablet them, or the government give the schoolers for use in class. You never hear so them break the tablet them. That mean anywhere the tablets there, the government can shut them down, plus GPS tracker installing of them. And even if you find a way, and you go around all of that, the minute you go up on the internet, them are going to know. So here what you do. Just leave the youth them with the tablet. Give them a chance to further them education. Makes sense, done.
Let us make every effort to forge unity and resolve to work hard for our prosperity.
Leaving our children a legacy of hope, breaking the shackles and smashing the old.
This is Jamaica. This is our land.
This is our
We have our future with God in our plan. We'll play our part building this great nation. This is Jamaica.
Let me hear the children say.
This is Jamaica. This is our land. We have our future with God in our plan. We'll play our part building this great nation. This is Jamaica.
Come on, everybody, let's sing.
This is Jamaica. This is our land. We have our future with God in our plan. We'll play our part building this great nation. This is Jamaica. This is our land. Jamaica, together we can.
As we say so long for today, I leave you with this quote from Steve Marboli. Every step towards your dream today is a step away from your regret tomorrow. Profound words for us to act on. If your dream is to start a business, there is information on our website to help you. So why not log on today? It's jis.gov.jm. And while you're online, send us your feedback via email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or a tweet at JIS News. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same station. On behalf of the production crew, I am Oroya Eubanks. Take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.